we talk about next generation search, though, we also have to talk about natural language processing. And as Mary Dee showed, this is only one of many techniques that make up artificial intelligence. And so what do we want to do? What does natural language processing allow us to do? Or what does it enable the computer to do? And that is, it breaks down human speech. Natural language processing it makes it possible for the computer to read text, to hear speech, to interpret it, to measure its sentiment, and to understand what are the most important parts. This is not something really new. Natural language processing has been around, since the 50s. And I just want to tell you this one story. I think this is so illustrative of just how difficult it is for the computer to understand human speech. In the 50s, height of the Cold War, scientists were being asked, you got to be able to translate Russian, because we got to know what the Russians are saying about us. And so they said, okay, we'll use one quick phrase, we'll use a phrase, and we'll see if we can actually take it from English, put it into Russian, and get it back into English. And so here's the phrase. The spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. Okay, so they translated that, they put that into Russian, and then they brought it back to English. Spirit is strong, the flesh is weak. What'd they get back? The vodka is strong, but the meat is rotten. I kid you not. Okay, so what that's telling us is that, yeah, okay, the words, yes, they kind of say what they're sort of close to in terms of what you mean by the words, but the sentiment, the meaning is completely wrong. And so it's very hard to be able to take human language, because we all know human language is messy, it's imprecise, it's cultural, it's geographically based, it's all those different things. And so natural language processing is really hard, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to try to solve this. What we're also seeing now is natural language processing is being used to really kind of capture a conversation. You're trying to have a conversation with your computer. How many people actually have like a Google Assistant, the Pod at home, or Alexa? Anybody? Okay. I get up every morning, and the first thing I say is, okay, Google, what time is it? Or, okay, Google, what is today's weather? I'm trying to have a conversation with my this computer. But I think that there's also more going on here, and just in terms of a conversation. What they're trying to capture here is the intent of the search. Remember I said do, know, go? They want to know what you want to do. And do you want to buy something? Do you want to find out more information about something? Do you want to go somewhere? They want to understand the intent of your search. Context is also really important. Mary Dee talked about this. But for the longest time, when scientists were looking at language or a text, they looked at it as data. Wrong. Language is based on context. You have to understand the context, or the meaning will be all wrong. So they're trying to figure out ways to do that, and conversational search is one way to do that. And they're using spoken search as a way. So they're going to ask questions like, what is the weather, or who won the World Series in 1984, or you might get back the response, did you mean? And it'll give you some kind of suggestion. We saw this in a couple of, I think Greg's presentation, and also I think in Mary Ellen's presentation. Google's just come out with this, Talk to Books and Semantris. This is really quite interesting, and I think this is an example of Google trying to use the public, to help them enhance or improve their natural language tools. And so take a look, it's quite interesting.